I'd like to get on to the leadership training. We've all heard it, we hear it so many times in so many different ways that you have to lead by example. But there's a lot of other things that are so important. Some people sponsor two people and say, well, I'm the leader now. In fact, it gets even better. I am a leader now. And that's great to have that attitude. I think that's awesome. But hey, leader, and to be determined and defined as a leader, has to be earned, not demanded. You've got to earn it. And it's not an easy thing. I've had people, and I've been doing presentations, and said, oh, I need a seat for a leader. I said, who is it? And they give me a name I've never heard. I said, well, why is he a leader? Well, he bought a power pack. Well, this guy's really getting me excited. I really need to meet this leader. All right? Be very, very careful. The word is used much too loosely from leaders to others, and certainly the others determine themselves. Every organization needs leaders. But there's leaders who are defined as leaders because of different talents. It's a responsibility. I meet a lot of leaders who don't walk the talk. They're telling you, you've got to do a 90-day plan. Of course you've got to do a 90-day plan. You hear it from anyone who's spent more than 6 months in this industry, believe me. But then they don't have their own 90-day plan. A leader must have their own 90-day plan. In the same way I showed it yesterday. The only thing is they start with a blank sheet for the week. They don't have the shades there with the job. They're already out of that job. J-O-B, just over broke. Okay. But their plan needs to be filled out in a different manner. There are different things they need to do, but they need their 90-day plan. They need to have their own top 10 group. Those potentially to be defined as leaders and have communication every week with these people. A plan of presentations, a plan of trainings, a plan of events, and a plan of Dealshaker Expo. We've got to get together and show the world the usability of the coin. Dealshaker Expo, Dealshaker Expo, Dealshaker Expo. And the day you have one here on the weekend, I'll be back and you'll have 20, 30% of all the leaders around the world coming to you. We need to prove that all these articles, paid for articles, are absolutely useless, worthless. You know, last week in Zagreb, I don't know if you've seen the videos. I mean, that was a professional expo. And the merchants were there. I mean, it was ridiculously crazy positive. And there was a car program introduced. A car program. Do you know how many people bought cars last weekend where they paid 35 to 40% in the scam coin? I bought a car. Beautiful car. I don't need it, but I need to prove something. I'll tell you, it doesn't really matter, right? It's an Aston Martin Rapid S. And you know, 36% in coins. How can you say it's a scam? How can you say the coin is worthless? How can you say it doesn't work? And you need to prove this to everyone. You want to sponsor someone into the business? You want someone to go tycoon because that is the network package? Starter and tycoon. Why is it the network package? Because it gives you the maximum payout in the compensation plan. That's why I call it the network package. All right? But every package is worthwhile. Every package has its benefits. Every package. But you want to show someone the value of joining this business or the value of getting the coins? What is better to have a car at the front door and say, look, I paid 35% in coins. Do you need to explain anything else? But that's what you guys have got to do. You've got to get merchants. I tell you, this is so crazy. Where's my phone? Oh, I put it away. Can I borrow your phone a second? Girls, you love shoes, don't you? I know. All right. Now, how about you getting a shoe merchant, a merchant who sells shoes, to accept 50% in coins? Would that be cool for you? How many girls would buy a new pair of shoes tomorrow if you had a shoe merchant who would accept 50% in coins? I mean, if I was to say, who would buy a new pair of shoes next week anyway, it'd probably still be the same. You buy ladies' shoes? Yeah, for your wife, yeah, I know. Hey, doesn't matter what nationality, we all have that same issue. Okay. Now, how about this? You take your girlfriend, or you ask, hey, do you want to come shopping, Susan, on the weekend? Huh? You go to this shoe shop, merchant. You go in there, and you see a beautiful pair of shoes. You try them on. But then you try another 20 pair, and at the end, you go back to the first pair that you tried on, and those are the ones you buy. Isn't it true, guys? Yeah. The women will never admit it, all right? Okay. All right. And it's like 2 hours later, isn't it? You know? Yeah. Anyway. So, now you go to the till, and you got your girlfriend with you. You go to the till, and you show them your voucher, your Dealshaker voucher. And you pay the rest in your currency. But of course you do it like this. I have my Dealshaker voucher for 50%. I only have to pay the other 50% in real money. True? You're saying this to them. And your girlfriend's listening to this. You make sure she's listening. And then you give the voucher and you take the shoes and you're walking out What is your girlfriend saying to you? What is she asking you? What the hell was that? You just got a pair of shoes for $100 and you only paid $50 for them. Can I do that? These are other ways of introducing people to your network. Go to a coffee shop. It's like 50% is like buying one and getting one free. True? Isn't it? So you invite someone for coffee in the coffee shop, which is a merchant on the Dealshaker platform. What do you want, Fred? Latte macchiato? So, 2 latte macchiatos, please. And by the way, I only pay for one because I got a voucher. How long does it ask for him to say, hey, what's that, Frank? Oh, you don't want to know. Say that to someone. You don't want to know. Huh? All right. Hey, you want this? No, you can't have it. It's mine. All right? No. All right. How did that work, Frank? Okay. I'm a member of Onelife, and I have these Onecoins, and there's this guy here, the merchant, this coffee shop's a merchant on the Dealshaker. So I only have to pay 50% in fiat currency. But you don't want to know anymore. How's the kids? Hey. Guys, it's so stupid simple. If you just keep it simple and do what is there already. Coffee shops, jean shops, cinema. I mean, you can use this to get people into the network and get them to have coins, because everyone who has coins is valuable to every one of us. Leadership training, coaching. You need to coach and not dictate. Too many people are dictating what you have to do. And they start talking very loud. You know, talking softly can be more powerful than shouting. I keep telling my wife that, but she's not listening. Okay. Well. By the way, I have the most awesome wife. I met her in this industry when I came back out of retirement. I came back from the USA in beginning of 2005. And 2 weeks later, I met this woman, and we got married 3.5 years ago. And third time lucky, big time lucky. Hey. Learn to listen. We don't listen enough. As I gave you the example, being at parties or even talking in a conversation with someone in a coffee shop. They're talking about their next holiday. They're not quite sure if they can afford it. Have you ever heard anyone say that? See? Wow, that's the line. I think I come across something where you could possibly earn that money. And not only that, there's in Athens on the 19th of May, there's an expo, a Dealshaker expo. And do you know what merchants are there? And they're the only merchants from the tourist trade. From the tourist trade. Oh, you're still saving for holiday? Well, I know this company where you can pay 50% in coins. At the Kuala Lumpur event in November, Simon, he has an airline in Vietnam, right? 103 people flew from Vietnam to Kuala Lumpur. You know how much they paid for their ticket in fiat currency? Nada. Nothing. 100% in coins, but it doesn't work. Don't tell anyone. Start to listen to what people are saying. It's such a great lead-in sometimes. You need to look for leaders. You need to look for potential. Don't be worried about someone being better than you. Hallelujah. You know? Do you think that the Barcelona football players, that they are really upset that they have the world's best footballer in their team? Would you love to have a football team and you play in that football team and you have Lionel playing with you? Even though he's 5 times better than you? Of course you would. I don't know why then in network marketing people are worried about people getting better than you are. I've always looked for people better than me, and I've met a lot of them, believe me. And I say, hey, the gates are open, get going. I follow. You're not looking for followers. You're not looking for disciples. You need to look and get into the person. What talents do they have that they don't even know they have themselves? 1994, I'd been 3 years a professional networker. 2 years with my own company. Disaster. I told you yesterday. 1 year working for an American company sponsored by an American. Up until 1994, and this is so true, I had never, ever, ever spoken in public. I had never given a business presentation. Nothing. The Americans wanted me to sit next to the stage and translate it into German. I refused. I said, I'm not doing that. You must be crazy. No way. I had never done a business presentation in public. And I was 3 years professional networker. I could do the one-on-one, but that was about it. When we launched this company in 94, it was a company called Quorum, came out of Texas into America. Fantastic at its time. And I had a partner. He was an Austrian guy from Innsbruck, Willi Kaltenegger. And we did a pre-launch on one-on-ones, and then we had the first hotel meeting in the Penta Hotel in Munich. And there was a discussion about the presentation and one thing and another, and he asked a stupid question to me. He said, well, who should do the presentation? I said, huh? You. Oh, yeah, fine, yeah, of course. So he does the presentation. We had about 30 people at the first meeting. And at the end of the meeting, and you get to know me now, I'm very direct. I think you get that. Yeah? See? All right? And he comes up to me, all elated and one another, and he comes up, says, yeah, how was that, Frank? How was the presentation? I had about 18 years listening to presentations up till then. And I told him what I thought. Yeah, you got it. I said, really, that was really bad. And you know what he said to me? As true as I'm standing here. He said, because he went 180, okay? He said, well, if you can do it better, you do it next week. And I was put in a spot. The following week, after being 3 years full-time professional networker, I did my very, very, very first business presentation in public. Afterwards, I thought, oh God, Willie's going to come up to me. He's going to crucify me. All right? He came up afterwards, and you know what he said to me? He said, Frank, you do the presentation every week from now on. True. And you know the advantage I had? I speak fluent German, but I speak with this accent. Now, if I was to, no, it'd be a bad example, but if I could speak Spanish like I speak German, all right, I would still have this British accent. And when you're in a crowd of people, especially networkers, they have a bit of heart. And when you're trying to speak their language, they're much more focused, they're much more open. And if you sort of, oh, what's the word? You got 20 people shouting the word at you. So there's a great degree of sympathy there. It's the same when I'm in America. When I'm in America, I really lay the British accent on. All right? The women love it. All right? The guys go for it. But I had that upfront advantage. And I started to speak for the very, very first time. It took 3 years to get me on stage. Now it takes 3 horses to get me off stage. All right? Learn to present. Learn to present doesn't mean speaking in public. Hey, I got by 3 years without it. But you need to learn the presentation. And where are you going to learn the presentation best? By keep on going with or without guests to the business presentation. It's a teaching. It's a classroom. Because if you are not able to present in your kitchen, in your living room or whatever, on a one-on-one, you are restricting your possibilities immensely. But I hear people, and I've seen people, you know, hotel foyer, and they're waiting, the presentation starts at 7 or whatever. Starts at 7 in Spain, but you really get going at 9. Hope you got that one. No one laughed. You're meant to laugh now. All right. Okay. Not on command, all right? A meeting in Spain starts at 7, but it really only gets going at 9. Yeah, okay. Right. So, now you got it. Okay. You need, and then their guest didn't turn up. The guest didn't turn up. You know what people do? They go home. Have you seen that happening? The guest didn't turn up, so they went home. Instead of going in the room and maybe learning a little bit more to make sure that when they invite a guest, that they actually turn up. I'm going to give you 2 tips. You've invited someone. Now, you're always thinking, are they really going to turn up? All right, maybe, maybe not. Well, if you do the invitation as I trained yesterday, you'll get a much higher rate because they showed interest in the beginning. But, now what you do is you ring them the evening before. And what you don't say is, I wanted to remind you. I mean, that is a bad line. No. What you do is say, hey, Fred, look, I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be at the hotel at 6:30, an hour before it starts, and it would be great if we could have a beer with each other because we haven't seen each other for a long time. Now, a little bit of psychology here. What did I do? Number 1, I reminded him without reminding him. Number 2, I never even brought it the possibility that he could have forgotten. Number 3, I told him the time again without telling him the time. Number 4, I expressed my excitement to see him again and possibly have a beer before the meeting. Now, if he doesn't turn up now, next one. You get it? So easy. There's another way to make sure that your guest is there. Hey, Fred, look, the meeting tomorrow. I happen to be in your area tomorrow about 6 o'clock. Look, I can pick you up and take you down, and you don't have to worry about parking. I tell you one thing, everyone who's in your car is at the meeting. Simple little things, guys, to get a better Sinaloa. So simple. But so simple not to do. So simple not to think that far. It comes from experience, guys, of making all the mistakes. Hey, Fred, I wanted to remind you that about the meeting tomorrow. You know what he's going to say now? Oh, God, I forgot. I've got this, I've got that. I need to do this, I need to do that. But next time. Huh? How many of you had that? Why? Because you're asking wrong. You're asking wrong. On the previous thing here, the previous slide. Ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. You need to promote others. You need to promote other meetings and events. And I'm going to show you a form that we've created that you can invite anyone to any presentation in any city, in any country, on any continent, and know 100% that that person walking through the door is your person when they walk out the door. They will get VIP treatment from every GLG member at every meeting. I'll show you the form already in action, okay? The power of recognition, we saw it today. This is something that doesn't happen in the job either, does it? You're lucky if the boss said, oh, great job. Yeah, take that to the bank. All right? Then you get the golden watch, if you're lucky, after 40 years. Only thing is they bought it on the beach in Italian. Or in Thailand on the beach. All right? Yeah. Power of recognition. But you need to create your own recognition within your own groups. You heard the story yesterday where I told you we took 91 people to Pattaya, Thailand. Not to buy a gold watch on the beach, okay? But to have a lot of fun there. As if you get to see the video of that. I mean, without the fun and the party side of networking, I wouldn't be around, all right? It's a great, great thing. But you recognize and do your own recognitions. You can have your own recognitions by creating your own inner circle. Your own inner circle of the people really dedicated doing the business with the various talents. That's also a form of recognition. Basic organizational skills. I was talking about this yesterday. You don't need to become a professor in network marketing. There is no such thing. All right? But you can get a little bit better organized. And I tell you, and you heard it also from another speaker today, in black and white, on paper, you may think it's old-fashioned. No, it's not. It's a damn sight more efficient working where you can have an overview like that. Yeah, I can do that in my phone. No, you can't. You start writing notes in the address book after the person spoke to him on the 17th, got to ring him on the 19th. This was his answer, and he told me to ring him on the 20th. You got to put that all in your phone? Doesn't work. Get it down in black and white, all right? Create habits. This is scientifically proven. Scientifically proven. If you do something every day for the next 28 days, you know what happens on the 29th day? You do it automatically. Did anyone teach? Well, yeah, Mummy and Daddy did. But when you wake up in the morning, don't you clean your teeth? But do you think about that seriously? Do you think when you get out of bed, oh, I've got to go to the bathroom and clean my teeth? No, it's an automatic thing. All right? And it's the same in business. It's the same here in network marketing. You've got to get into a routine. That's why I talked about the 7 apples yesterday. It's much better to have 1 apple a day than try to do all 7 in one day for a number of reasons. But if you do a little bit conscientiously, an hour a day, that's only 7 hours a week. But in a plan, in a system, it'll bring you more than these people who say, I'm doing 40 hours a week. How many people say, I work so hard, I'm working 50 hours a week? But production-wise, someone with 10 hours is getting 3 times what they're getting. Why? And I'm sure you've come across that. Well, that's getting in the car and driving full speed the wrong way. Without a systematic, without a habit, a routine. It's not easy, but you've got to get in there. This we've covered enough. This I hate. I hate this thinking. No cross lines. You've got to start creating, at least being a part and getting your groups onto the online webinars, the cores. Before the live events. You have your own state of the nation. That's your inner circle. But create your own webinars. I'm talking when you start to really lead. And if it's only to tell them the latest news or the latest event, getting together on a call, an inner circle call once a week means so much. You're starting to create synergy. You can then have your own workshops, and you need to start that where the pin level is qualification. I don't really stand behind that statement 100%, but I wrote it because it is important. Pin levels are extremely important because a pin level means you're building your business correctly. It means you're building a foundation to stand on. Extremely important. But at the same time, I know people wearing a ruby pin who have 10 times the talents of some people wearing a blue or a black diamond pin when it comes to leadership. And of course, there's also a path that people have to go along. Some people bring those talents with them from day one. Extremely important. But certainly, in the recognition aspect of things, run your own promotions. To come on our holidays that we do every year, I don't do them anymore now because I'm not a part of it. But they had to do so much production, less a leg in a certain amount of time. If they did double that, they could bring their loved one with them. If they did triple that, we paid also for the flight. etc., etc. These are things you can do. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't need to be Thailand for 5 days. Right? But you heard that also from a speaker today, how important it is to get your ranking, to build your network on solid ground, and be rewarded for it. And when it comes to rewarding, please, every one of you, get into the following habit. Whatever you earn a month out of this as extra income to what you already have, hopefully, go and blow 10% of it on the last weekend of the month, on whatever you want. Whatever you want. Give it to charity. Take your loved one to a restaurant. Buy the biggest bottle of champagne, the most expensive, depending on what you've got. Or get yourself a new pair of jeans. Do something. Reward yourself with 10% of what you earned. That doesn't mean that the top guys go out and buy a brand new car every month with 10%, all right? But I think you know what I'm trying to get. You need to reward yourself on the way because you're paying a price. And in that reward, bring your family into it. They pay as big a price, if not a bigger price, than what you do. You should be enjoying what you're doing. They're not enjoying you not being a part of the family anymore. That's why I'm blessed that I have someone out of the industry who supports everything I've done over the years. The next meetings, events, trainings, 90 days, got to be in your plan. You need to have these. You need to know when are your next meetings that you're organizing with your group. You may not be very good at organizing, but as a leader, you need to find someone who is. Everyone has their different talents, and it has to be a team effort. You need to build the trust within the organization. I said yesterday, in the company that I started myself in 1991, I was flat broke. I had $250,000 German marks debts. But what did I say? What I learned out of that? What was the most important asset that I learned? It's the relationships. It's the people. Companies come and go. Products come and go. But the people don't. You can hold the people with you, and you will hold it together if you build that trust as a true leader. They're not followers. They're a part of what you are. And they want to be a part of that more than that company, this product, that compensation plan. And you'll find that as you go along. We've already had this. I want to show you guys the forms that have been made up. By the way, that's my home I built, moved in 1 year ago. Here's the issue form. You have issues. You try to work them out with support. Well, firstly with your sponsor. Then with support. No need to take photos. These are, the guys have all these. You can get them from your GLG member, all right? Okay? You try with support. When you don't get a satisfactory answer after 2-3 weeks from support, you can fill one of these out. Go to your GLG member. It gets filled out. Needs to be filled out 100%. It'll go through the inner circle, and it will land on the right desk at the right person with a lot of weight to get it sorted. Does that mean it will get sorted better than before? Probably not. But we're going to give it one hell of a go. But we have to work together to get these things streamlined. And a lot of the answers on the way we'll be able to answer through the GLG and through the inner circle without it even going to the company. All right? There's another form. This is the registration of a guest form. We will have this once the company's back up and running 100% operationally, IT-wise. You know, there's still a few challenges. We will have this also in the back office with a calendar that we used to have with my company, which is filtered per country, filtered business presentation, training, event, or a mastermind. Go over with the mouse, the flyer pops up. You'll be able to connect the registration form to this, and it gets sent to the organizers, and the person you've invited gets his copy. He goes to the registration table, shows it, and then from that moment on, they become a VIP. They have reserved seats at the front of the room. The organizers know that these people have a suit of armor around them. And they will have all their questions answered the way it should be. This is already in operational manually. It's going to take a few weeks, maybe 2-3 months before it's in your back office. But this is what the GLG is already starting to use. It's awesome, guys. I only have a quarter of an hour and I'm done. Is that okay for you? And then I'm finished. All right? Okay. I wanted to do something right now. Can you come here to the front, please? Stand over here. And I want you to read something. You're going to have to stand here. All right? I need you to read it. It's in Spanish, so take a mic. Test, you're on mic.
Hola, hola.
Okay, can you please read the following? Hold on. Please read it.
No te amo como si fueras rosa de sal, topacio o flecha de claveles que propagan el fuego. Te amo como se aman ciertas cosas oscuras, secretamente entre la sombra y el alma. Te amo como la planta que no florece y lleva dentro de sí escondida la luz de aquellas flores, y gracias a tu amor vive oscuro en mi cuerpo el apretado aroma que ascendió de la tierra.
Thank you. Stay there. You were all listening. I mean, it was in Spanish. Okay. Come here. Thank you. Now read it again.
Yes.
Read it.
This night it's my
Read
night.
it. Read it.
No te amo como si fueras rosa de sal, topacio o flecha de claveles que propagan el fuego. Te amo como se aman ciertas cosas oscuras, secretamente entre la sombra y el alma. Te amo como la planta que no florece y lleva dentro de sí, escondida, la luz de aquellas flores. Y gracias a tu amor, vive oscuro en mi cuerpo el apretado aroma que ascendió de la tierra.
Thank you. Thank you. You've learned over the last 2 days that I always like to use examples out of life, things that you can relate to. Now, If you were to describe the first time he read that and the second time he read that, what was the fundamental difference in his voice? Pasión emocional. Yeah? I mean, it was like black and white, correct? And by the way, I'm thankful that you did that, but I did not talk with you an hour ago or yesterday that I was going to do that. All right? But why did I do that? Why did I show you that? I'm finishing with this. You've got to start getting this business that you're a part of into your heart. You've got to start getting emotion, not just belief, but also emotion that comes from belief. Belief of loving each other, loving someone. It gets expressed differently. There's too many people talking about one life like this. Translators, you just need to get my tone, okay? Hey, friend, I just come across a great business. I'm so excited. I can't sleep at night. Now, I really think this is for you because you could be excited as I am. Of course, I take it to the extreme. But that is basically how it is out there. This is a people's business. When you come across, but it has to be not that you are ready to win the Oscar at the end of February in Hollywood. All right? And the only way not to be an actor is to get it into your heart, not just into your wallet. All right? And you will be so more successful if people ask you, what drugs are you on? I won't say that in Colombia, in Bogota, when I'm there next weekend. It'll probably take half an hour to explain on what. Yeah, okay. Leave that one. All right? But because they see a change in you, the people who know you, that you're suddenly really excited about something, getting emotion into it. And in a very valuable example, how his voice changed the minute those words meant something more than just the words. The emotion got into it. And you need to get passionate about your business. You need to get passionate about the community, the One Life community. You need to get passionate about the vision of what you are a part of. You need to get passionate about every individual who is a part of your One Life family. I love you all. Thanks.
Aplauso, Frank Ricketts.
Thanks, Pastor. Thanks a lot.
Tremendo entrenamiento.
Again, thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, all right? Thank you. Perfect. You got it, Thomas.
Bueno.